Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. My name is Tom. I work in the library, and I'm just going to bring you through a brief run through of how the library will work in the new term. If you have any questions, like I was saying, you can post them in the chat. And my colleague Ashling is keeping an eye on that and can either field them during the call or we can get to them at the end. Yeah. So welcome to NCAD. There's a load of information coming at you today, I'm sure. But we'll try and kind of keep this to the bare essentials and not overload you. So here's a map of the campus, or an aerial view rather. Some of you might be familiar with the campus already if you've been there. Some of you might not though, so in case you aren't, I've just marked some kind of landmarks for you on the map here. So in yellow, you'll see the Edward Murphy Library, and that's the main student library on the campus. That's in yellow, and in orange, it's the National Irish Visual Arts Library. That is in what we call the Clock Building. So Edward Murphy Library is in the Granary Building. NIVAL, or National Irish Visual Arts Library, is in the Clock Building. And the Granary, or Edward Murphy and the Granary, that's on the second floor. So you either take the lift up or go up a few flights of stairs. And then you see the Thomas Street entrance there marked in green. So you come straight through the front door of the college, and then you go straight forward down a sort of a laneway, and then on your left-hand side, as you come through, come out the other side of that laneway, you'll see the entrance to the Granary Building. The library's opening times are 10 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., but this is subject to change owing to the various COVID restrictions and compromises we've had to make in order to keep everyone as safe as possible. Keep an eye out for updates about these through official channels like social media and by email. NIVAL is also open, but it's only accessible by appointment at the moment, unfortunately, which you can arrange by contacting them at NIVAL info@staff.ncad.ie. I'll talk a bit more about NIVAL and what it is near the end of the session. So just a brief overview of the library. The Edward Murphy Library houses a massive collection of books, scholarly publications, audiovisual material, magazines, pamphlets, exhibition catalogues, lots and lots of different kinds of stuff. We cover a wide variety of topics and can be searched for and browsed using the library's online catalogue. We also offer a variety of services to help you in the course of both your academic research in the coming year and the development of your artistic practice. To ensure the safety of all the library users and staff, we have some new procedures in place that you'll need to familiarize yourselves with. As part of our phased reopening of the library, we are offering a service whereby books may be ordered online and then collected in person. So this is a temporary service being offered until such time we are able to physically reopen our library spaces. Unfortunately, there'll be no general access to the library like there normally would for stuff like browsing, nor use of computers or printer services. Under the click and collect though, library users, like I was saying, search the catalogue and reserve an item in advance. You have to reserve every item you want in advance before you come in to collect them. So reservations like these are referred to as holds, and how you do it is you basically go to this URL that's on the screen, ncadlibrary.on.worldcat.org/discovery, or you can go through the NCAD website. There's a library page there that has all this stuff on it, and you search the item you want. You'll get loads of search results back. You click on the item you want, scroll down to where it says check availability, like in that screenshot there, and click place hold. So you'll then be asked to sign into your NCAD library account, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute, but you basically log in there and then click a few options, and you will have placed your hold. Once the book becomes available, you will receive an email to let you know when the item can be collected. So you can place holds on up to 10 books at a time. And as common sense might dictate, we recommend that you place holds on books on the days you're off campus, so they'll be ready to collect the days that you're on campus. And books are held for 8 days from when you place a hold on them. So if you were to place a hold on one today, for example, you would be able to pick it up until next Friday. When it is available to collect, you'll collect it at the main library issue desk. That's, like I was saying, on the second floor of the granary building. And when you are ready to bring your books back, you'll bring it to the atrium, which is on the ground level of the granary. You pass by it on your way up to the main library, so you shouldn't miss it. That's going to act as a sort of a temporary site for the library returns desk. You are entitled, like I was saying before, to place holds on up to 10 books at a time. But in addition to that, you're entitled to borrow 10 books. So while you've got 10 books out on your account, you can also place a hold on 10 additional books, as well as 4 DVDs. And you can hold those for up to 2 weeks. These need to be returned within the specified loan period, obviously. If you want them for longer, you can renew them, though, but only if nobody else is looking for them. You can renew them up to 4 times. So late fines are charged at 25% per day that they're overdue, and you'll get an automated message the day before an item is due. So keep an eye on your email for that, but this is just a courtesy. It's ultimately up to you to keep track of your loans. The system that sends out these reminders is an automated one, and so sometimes things might go wrong. You might not get one immediately, so don't rely on it. Keep track of that stuff yourself. If you lose or damage an item, just tell us. It's we promise we won't bite. We just need to find a replacement as soon as possible, basically. So the library account I mentioned before is what you'll need to log into in order to place holds. Obviously, we need to know who is placing the hold and who to contact about it. You're automatically given a library account. You don't need to set it up. And the login details for that are the same as the login details for Wi-Fi and printer services. If you're unsure about any aspect of how it works or how to log into it or anything like that, you can just contact us and we'll be happy to help you. So by accessing your account online, you can not only place holds, but you can see what your current loans are, when they're due back, for example. You can create lists of books for later reference. If you're maybe looking at the catalog, getting ready for an essay, you create a list of all the books you want, but you're not ready to actually place a hold on them yet. You can also renew your books from this screen as well. There's similar to what we're doing now, except one-on-one. There'll be a virtual issue desk operating. This is just a regular opportunity for you to ask us specific questions that you might have. It's a good opportunity to ask questions related to assignments or your research and about how the library might help you in carrying those out. There'll be individual sessions, like I was saying, and you can book them through the issue desk at this email address. So libraryloans@staff.ncat.ie. You can also just obviously ask us questions over the email as well. But some people prefer the face-to-face, especially if it's a more complicated or involved sort of question. The library also offers a variety of e-resources, and we hope to be adding to them over the coming months as we're kind of moving more and more online. So look out for notices about these. In order to search the journal article databases, which is a major e-resource that we offer, what you do is you basically type your search term into the same box you would for a regular library book. Only when the search results come up, you use the left-hand column to click article, and under content type, you choose full text. So the same way as if you were searching Amazon or IKEA or any other large database of items or products or anything like that, there's usually a filter screen on the left-hand side that you can kind of narrow your search result down by. Same thing with the library catalog. This will refine your search to only show up journal articles. So no books at all, no DVDs, no anything, just stuff that you can access online, PDFs of specific articles from magazines, journals, periodicals of other types. So in this instance, we use the search term Grayson Perry. And the first search result shows an article by Tony Burks from a journal called Ceramics, Art and Perception. So in order to view the article, you click on full text or view full text there, the big blue button, and this will bring you to an external page. And then on the left-hand side or under the article, depending on the article, you'll see PDF full text. And if you click on this, it'll show you the article. And you'll be able to download the article there. You can print it, you can save it, download it, do whatever you like. So this is something that'll be really integral for your research and your assignments and stuff like that going forward. So I advise you to get really familiar with it as soon as possible. In order to access e-resources off campus, you need to log into the library databases using something called Open Athens. And this basically, this is an account provided by IT. You'll probably get an email about it soon if you haven't already. And you basically log into this first before you start looking for articles. And then when you do start looking for articles, it will know that you're an NCAD student and it will know to give you access to them. So it might sound a little convoluted at first, but once you've done it once, and maybe the second time you've done it, it gets very, very, very simple and hopefully automatic. So the Visual Resources Center is where I work, and it's where the library's audiovisual collection is housed. We offer all sorts of different kinds of materials, different kinds of films, documentaries, TV shows, artist films. There's a lot of other weird stuff in there, and all of it's up on the catalog alongside the books and the articles and all that other kind of stuff. We also offer a variety of training. So visual literacy training is one of the sessions we offer, which is kind of bringing you through how to find, interpret, evaluate, use and create images or other visual media. That's kind of an all-encompassing thing. We don't have to cover everything in the session. If you're only interested in one specific aspect, we can sit down virtually and figure out exactly what you want. I can also give you a sort of a summarized or a more focused version of the session I'm currently giving, sort of an intro to the library resources. So we can cover stuff like accessing, doing the actual searching, managing and understanding the variety of resources offered by the library. So I showed you the journal article databases before, and in the interest of time, that's the only one I'm going to talk about, but we do have a good few others. And you can find out a little bit more about those if you go onto the library website. You'll probably also hear about them over the coming weeks as well. We also offer citation help and file management. So you may not be familiar with citations at the moment, but that's something that'll be really important for when you start writing essays and start attributing other people's work in your assignments. So if you use an image, for example, or if you use a quote from another person's work, that's fine, just as long as you cite it in the correct way. That just means there's basically a format for it, and it's just usually a little sentence or a short description of where you found the book and what part of it the thing you're quoting from is in, and a few other little details. But we can help you with that if you're having trouble with it, and as well as putting all those citations together into a bibliography, which again you'll hear more about over the coming weeks, especially as you get closer and closer to handing in essays and that kind of thing. But just I want to flag it at this point that that service is available, and you can come to the Visual Resources Centre and get a hand at that. We also offer practical IT training, so all sorts of different imaging, publishing, editing software, as well as general PC, Mac features and that kind of thing. If you're having trouble with any of them, you can hit us up and we'll help you with that. So like I was saying, these are all conducted virtually for the moment, and they're all bookable via email. And this is the email they're bookable by. This is my own email, marty@staff.ncad.ie. Yeah, so like I said, it's there, services are there. I'm happy to provide them. We can tailor them to whatever you think is most useful for you. But just don't forget that they're there. Don't suffer in silence. We're here to help and we're happy to do it. So I mentioned NIVAL earlier, or the National Irish Visual Arts Library. It's an institution in the campus or on the campus that's kind of separate but related to the Edward Murphy Library. The Edward Murphy Library is your main kind of student library where you'll get all the nuts and bolts you need to do your assignments. NIVAL is a bit more unique in that it documents Irish visual art and design from the early 20th century onwards, including right up until today. Collects and stores a huge unparalleled collection of documentation about Irish art and design and makes it all available for all sorts of research and researchers. A lot of this material is not available literally anywhere else. It's one-of-a-kind stuff. Things like monographs, exhibition catalogs, price lists for artworks that were sold by artworks of a particular artist that were sold. Things like brochures for shows, press releases that went out, newspaper reviews, artist books, a huge amount of stuff. That image there is of some of the Patrick Scott collection that NIVAL has, and you can see there that we've got loads of copies of his passport. So you can see kind of where he is traveling at what time, and it's just, if you really want to, maybe not so relevant in your first or second week of your first year in the college, but going further down the line, NIVAL is a super valuable resource for conducting your own research and really getting to grips with one particular artist or one particular gallery or one particular topic within Irish art and design. You'll definitely hear more about this from your tutors and from us going forward. If you are curious, NIVAL has its own website. You can browse. They have a load of their collections up there. A lot of them are digitized. You can browse them. They're just literally scans of some of the stuff they have there. And that's nival.ie. They also have a database of artists. So any artist working in Ireland, whether they be Irish or from abroad, who has had, I think, at least 3 solo shows is the cutoff, they'll have an entry in the artist database. So you can look them up. You can see what kinds of work they do, what kinds of shows they've been part of, any items in the collection that relate to them, any relationships they have with other artists, through their work. There's a lot of really good information there. But yeah, as I said, NIVAL is only accessible physically by appointment at the moment, and you can book that on NIVAL info at staff.ncad.ie. Coming up to the end of this session, I just want to let you know that as part of your learning and professional practice module, we're asking you to take a brief quiz on the topic of the library. It's based off this talk, information on the library website, and a load of library guide videos you can also find on the website. We will accept the best of your first 3 attempts, but you can submit as many times as you like. So each time you submit, you'll see what results you got straight away. And you'll see what was right and what was wrong. And so you can actually calibrate your second or your third submission and hopefully get as close to top marks as possible. A small technical note, you need to be logged into your NCAD email account when you access the quiz page. This is how we know who it is that's submitting and when you've submitted. So be sure and get that set up and working as soon as possible. The due date for this is Friday, October 9th. So that's this day, next week. I guess, it's a minute to midnight is the cutoff next Friday. Again, it's a very quick quiz. You'll be given all the tools you need to answer the questions. Just keep an eye on your Google Classroom and your email account for things like links. Any issues, contact me at marty@staff.ncad.ie. I can help you out, either accessing the quiz. If you're having trouble, you're not sure you submitted it properly or whatever, I can tell you if we got your submission or not. I can help you submit it. This does go towards your LPP mark in the end. And like I said, this is probably your first assignment. We want to make it as seamless as possible for you. So just really jump into it and get your feet wet. Don't be afraid. You can find the quiz by clicking on this tile on the library website. So if you go to ncad.ie and then you click library up at the top of the screen, here's me pointing at my own screen as if you can see that. You'll see this straight away. At the moment, if you go there and you click on the tile, you won't see the quiz, but that's okay. You've gotten a lot of information thrown at you this morning. So just take a bit of time to reflect on everything that you've heard today and check back from tomorrow onwards. The quiz will be up there along with recording of this session and some additional library guides that you might find useful in the course of answering the questions. But don't worry about it for today. But over the course of the next 7 days, do sit down and take the LPP quiz. It won't take you longer than maybe 10, 20 minutes. But by the same token, don't leave it to the last minute in case you have some technical issues. But yeah, that's where you'll find it on the library website. Yeah, so that's the end of the library introduction. One last word: to be kind to yourselves, take care, and we'll see you all on campus at some stage. All right. Okay, thanks everyone, and take care.